Very tentative clap over there. Let's do. Okay. This one works better, I think.
It was nice. I like the tone of it.
The subtle.
Cute. Yeah, it was cute.
The subtle clapping. No subtle clap. Well, I can't do a segue into something that I'm not going to use. Or can I? I can do anything I want. I'll just segue. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, no subtle clapping at Charlotte OC shows, please.
Yeah, I just want crying, actually. Just crying and really fucking loud claps.
Oh, massive people just sobbing.
Yeah, that's all I want. I want you to leave here questioning everything about your being.
Have you seen lots of people sobbing at your shows? Because your music kind of tends to be cryingable.
Cryingable? That should be a word. That should be totally a word.
It is now. Portmanteau.
Yeah, I do. I like that. I always say that my favourite thing is when people come up to me and they say, oh, you know, like I cried my eyes out to that. And my worst thing is when people say, oh, I nearly cried. I'm like, why didn't you properly cry? Like, don't tell me you nearly cried. That's almost been like, I nearly ejaculated. It's like, well, I don't want to know. Like,
well, some people are into that, I guess. Yeah, a little bird told me. Or the internet, to be honest.
Yeah, totally.
Just go online and search for anything. It'll come up, or not in this case.
It's just you. It's just you doing that podcast on it.
Exactly. The whole theme. Wow, this one went weird quickly.
Yeah. It's only one funny.
I was thinking, like, Charlotte's music is pretty serious. So sometimes I've been doing this for a long time. So sometimes when the music is extremely serious, then the person is a lot of fun, you know. So and sometimes it's harder to be playful with things that are already very stupid, you know.
Yeah, I think as well, like, that's just very much me as a person, in terms of I am really drastically high or low. There's no medical symptom for it, but I just am either, you know, very happy, or sometimes like I feel everything quite deeply, and chosen the wrong job to be to kind of have a level playing ground in that emotion, because it is like that constantly. But yeah, it's just part of my personality. But I think that with this album that I just released, it shows like the sense of humour. There's a part of sense of humour in this record, even though it's kind of about the worst year of my life.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But you're saying is that it's the worst job you could think of, or something for that.
Yeah.
Or something, not to paraphrase, but or something in the line, in that line, but in that vein. But imagine if you were like working at a restaurant, like very high and very low, like, oh, okay, this piece of this pasta is soggy because I don't care today, or and then you'll be extremely angry, and then the pasta's all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, that wouldn't work out, I think.
Yeah, no, there's a certain amount of performance, I think, as well, when you're doing jobs like that. You've got to be on it, and you've got to be
that's true. That's not totally dissimilar, but at least there's something that you have. There's like the standard. Well, you have to do that as well when you play. Yeah. But the standard of. But when you play, you're allowed to have highs and lows, I guess. At least in the songs.
Yeah, but I've never.
Not in terms of quality.
I never act pissed off though. Like, I've never done like after a song been like, thanks. You know, like, or annoyed at the crowd or whatever. You know, we've still got to kind of keep it going. But I think what I mean is, like, you know, one day you'll have a really good day in terms of some great news, or an album will come out, and then a week later it'll pass, and you'll be like, whoosh, and you're like, oh my god, like, shit. Like, there's a lot of highs and lows in this, and then I struggle with it a little bit, but it plays in my favour when I'm having to write, you know.
of Portuguese people, I apologize for the rain, because you're not you.
I'm very used to it. You can't like. If anything, it's quite nice to see a city in a different state. Than I came here last November for my 30th, and
cool.
It's the first time that I'd ever visited Lisbon, and it was beautiful. And it's like, I've had my experience. I'll let you guys off for this one.
Okay, good. Because some things you can control the weather.
No. You can try though.
You can with willfulness. What you call the will to by willing. Yeah.
And everywhere you go, you can always take the weather with you.
Oh yes. Everywhere you go, you can always take the weather with you. I should crowded house. But speaking of things that you can control. So one of my favorite songs off the new record is "Center of the Universe." It's basically, thank you for making the song for us to enjoy. But is it? So it's it's about you. It's about, but it reflects you learning that you can control everything, right?
Yeah. It's about realizing that the world is not what you think it is, and the moment that you realise that, then I thought that the world basically revolves around me, and it was the whole Truman Show effect of like I was the lead character and you lot were just actors, and
but in some way it does.
About me, yeah, totally.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
Still believe it.
For you, it does.
Do you know what? In a weird way, when you're in music, there is an element of that, But life isn't actually like that. And when you're not doing music, you are just. I don't know. It's important. I think I just needed to get to the point when I was 13 years old to be like, everybody is exactly the same, and one way or another, the sooner you realise this, like the more like a person you're going to become, and like empathy is going to arrive, and you're going to stop being a little brat, and you're going to start realising that, like, I don't know, like this is a level playing field in a way, like, and it is what you make it, and it's how you treat others, and you just can't be thinking of yourself on this higher, level. It was nuts. I think being the youngest of 3 girls as well, I'm the baby, so I'm definitely got this like spoiled element to me. So it was a real turning point, and I'm finally a nice person.
Well, you can tell from the lyrics that you're sensitive to the feelings of others, so not just yourself. So it means that you're a nice person for sure.
No, thank you.
We can tell. And we're confirming that right now. The album's called Here Comes Trouble. I looked down, I looked down at the question, so I'll redo this because it seems that I don't know the name of the album, but I do. So this is sort of self-consciousness that makes me do jokes and stuff and be self-analytical. Yeah, I know, it's the minuteness of everything. I'm doing comedy improv now.
Nice.
Yeah, classes now, so everything is minute and everything is able to be analyzed in such a big way. But anyway, okay, so Here Comes Trouble. Okay, so Here Comes Trouble, the name of the new record, and is it like more like amuse or wary? For instance, like oh, here comes trouble, or oh, here comes trouble.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Yeah, that was the kind of, when I made it, it was. It really did feel like every single corner that I turned, like there was just like some little demon just being like, I'm going to do something. And it just got a little bit ridiculous to the point where, like, when I was in the studio with my producer, he'd be like, go on, what's happened? He'd know that something else would have happened that, like, the next time I'd seen him. And it was just quite crazy. And I think through lockdown, through, having this pandemic, everything was so heightened and highlighted because there was nothing else, really, nothing happening. So we, all these like traumas were just so huge.
It happened to a lot of us. It's really being unable to be with anyone else is wretched.
Yeah, it was a strange time, and with that, I just started to just become a little bit a danger to myself in a way, and I just started. I imagined when I walked into a room that people would be like, "Oh, here comes trouble," because of the shit that I was just getting up to and the kind of mess that I was making in terms of just that self-sabotage thing. Because I just thought, "Fuck it, everything's turning to shit, and I'm just gonna be the worst version of myself because what else is there? What do I kind of have? It was a really horrible moment. But yeah, I made something that I'm really proud out of it, which is quite crazy. But yeah,
well, I'm sorry and congratulations.
Thank you.
So both of them. It as you recognizing trouble, and it didn't even occur to me that it could be you the trouble, you being the trouble.
It was yourself. It was 100%, and it still continues to be. But it was definitely me recognizing that, and that's what Here Comes Another is about.
Are you also bad news then?
No, so that song was me being nice, and I was letting my ex-partner know that we were both shit, and we were both, we both to blame in a way, but he was worse, way worse. But that was kind of me trying to be amicable, but I wanted it to just, still have that angst there, and. Well, it's it is a tough one.
Well, the album's recorded and fully completed, and now you can sigh over it.
I can, thank God. Thank God. Sigh of relief of just everything.
Well, that was to do.
Exactly. Yeah, like that happened. And it's weird as well thinking back on it all and. Thinking, God, that actually did all happen, and it's nice to. Not everybody gets to look back on a moment that a really shit moment, and then be like, oh, I made something really nice out of that, and that's the beauty of music, I guess, without sounding like an idiot. It really kind of is. I've got
life,
a trophy of it, I did it. I dumped him, even though he dumped me.
But in the end, it was you.
Totally. Actually, in the end, it was actually me. Yeah.
There you go.
We're both screwed. We're both bad news. We're both sad. We're both screwed. This is bad.
There's barely any correlation between being beautiful and being alone, or especially with loneliness. Like, there's no correlation between being beautiful and feeling lonely. Everybody feels lonely, but. who are these dumbasses that are dumping you? I mean, come on.
Listen, I'm hard work. I'm a nightmare. I give anybody a medal who wants to date me. But you know, the album was about. It was one relationship that was very much all-consuming, and a lot of it's. I'm very much thankful for it because it was. I fell in love massively, but I also realised that it was just not quite, you know, I now know what I don't want in a relationship, and sometimes that's very difficult to find. But at the same time, it was some of the songs are about my family, like Where Do We Go is about my uncle visiting me in a dream, even though he's passed away.
And Inevitable as well.
And Inevitable about my father. So
and my condolences.
Thank you.
In that case, because I didn't know. I watched the video and then, okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you, love. Thank you. Yeah, it's still
You're
a
welcome.
wild ride. Like, it's still a wild.
Ours are still with us, thankfully.
Treasure them, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
Please ask them every question that you can imaginable, even though they may be annoying, even though you may have heard that story a million times. Keep asking them questions, because one day you won't hear them.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
Sorry to be depressing.
Guys, no, it's everything in its, everything is a part of the.
Yeah.
I was gonna say yin and yang, but that's cliche. I mean, I guess it's a whole part of the whole thing. Part of the whole ride.
Like,
you take everything, with any grain of spices that you want.
You got it. You nearly said it. Salt.
No, I know, but then salt and cardamom, cardamom and coriander and.
Oh, no coriander.
Oh no, you're anti-coriander. Okay, coriander. No,
go on.
Because for instance, on Bad Bitch, you drink 3 Negronis, but used to drink rum or whiskey in Hangover. So now have you changed to Negronis now of your drink of choice?
So Hangover is actually about my dad. Yeah, because my dad was, and it was. His tipple of choice was whiskey.
I thought it was you, sorry.
Yeah, no. So that was kind of like about him in a weird way, even though it sounds like a love song, it's about my dad. And yeah, I love to drink. My dad, he was Irish, so. But Negroni is my go-to. It's literally the making and the breaking of me. Like I
Really?
Oh, that first sip, it's just like, I know I'm in trouble, and then I'm just like. So it's literally 3 and 4 Negronis and I'm done. I'm like literally out.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna start a fight with somebody.
Yeah. Like a proper Negroni is not. Yeah. But it's also not light at all.
No, it's just pure booze.
It's exactly just booze with other booze.
Yeah, exactly, and a massive ice cube. Like, I love it. Yeah, it's great. But yeah, these are my. That has like been my tipple of choice for quite some time, and I get I stay at the Michelberger Hotel quite a lot because I'm working a lot in Germany, and they get so bored of making these fucking Negronis for me. So they're like, please try something different. But it's because of those guys that I wrote that song, because they made them. They make them so well. So yeah.
Here's a wreck. And I just had a really weird, like a couple of weeks ago, just had like a really weird cocktail called the Jumping Jessica. And it has like, tequila, mostly tequila, vermouth, chartreuse, and lime and ginger and smoked bell pepper. It's really weird.
Oh,
but it's delicious. Yeah, it's
wow.
It was like super smooth.
Spicy?
Yeah, no, it's actually very frothy and creamy, and I don't know. It's really weird mix of
Where
things.
was this? Where did you have this?
It was in Lisbon, in the cocktail place over here. We're not sponsored. I don't care. So the Cinco Lounge. It's been around for ever
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
It's actually this British guy who does the cocktails over there. That's had the place, and it's really good. And it's actually right over there. So
I'm gonna go.
yeah.
Now I want to spread immediately.
Let's go. Let's fucking go.
They're very good.
Jumping Jessica.
Yeah.
I like the name as well. Nice.
Jumping Jessica. I was like, oh, well, what's this? With such a sort of weird cocktails and all stuff like that. So here's my rec to you. Have a Jumping Jessica. We actually have Nônô and I have a craft beer podcast.
Amazing.
But we don't necessarily speak about the beers.
You just get pissed.
No, we just have one beer.
All right.
And
One beer.
and take forever to get there. And speak about everything else.
That's so good. I love that.
And then we barely describe the beer and we give it a note and like a rating out of any number, but out from on a scale from 1 to 3. So it's always great.
I love that. I want to join in.
Well, please. Oh, we could have brought craft beer. Like we just bought some guava beer from yesterday.
Oh, that sounds great. I love guava.
And
like a Rubicon.
and honeycomb
beer. Yesterday.
What?
It was a hazelnut and
hazelnut chili stout.
Hazelnut chili stout.
It was very good.
Oh,
You
what?
guys in England have really good beer.
Yeah, we do.
Craft beer, I mean, and ales and stuff.
It's getting all a bit fancy in the
We'll get you one.
UK. Yes, please. I'd love
Absolutely.
that.
Our fridge is basically beers.
Sounds like my kind of fridge. I need to stop drinking.
Right?
Jesus.
It's at the moment we have like 2 shelves worth of craft beer packed with craft beer. Campari. What else we have? Campari that's in Negronis. So we're halfway there. So there we go.
Nice.
Please join the podcast. Absolutely. We
I'll do it on Zoom. I'll just send a package over. I'm in.
Absolutely. Let's do this. Absolutely. This is a great idea. Please. It's just like 15 minutes of nothing, and then we get the beers, and then we can talk about the beers, but then we choose not to, or then we do. We don't know.
I can imagine me just going, I'm getting a real taste of beer, man. I can just really taste that beer, and then I'll be out. That's all I'll say.
Usually we'll have weird. It's yeasty, yes, and it's hoppy.
Yeah.
Well, how do you describe it? It's tastes of alcohol, yeast, and hops, and that's all the podcast. That's all the episodes.
I'll give it a 3 out of 3. Actually, yes.
You can give it like a 57 if you want, but then the reveal is that it's from 1 to 3.
I got you.
So it's great, even if it sucks.
Okay, I'm in.
I do have a tattoo of what you described as the taste for.
Really?
Yeah, I have a beer recipe tattoo on me.
That's so weird.
Tattoo.
That's great.
I'll put this in because it's been featured on the show more than once, but only once.
Yeah.
Only once.
Okay.
So it's now going to be more than once, but it's a really fun tattoo. You'll see it. Yeah. Absolutely.
Amazing.
Absolutely. I'll put it up. So you've dedicated yourself to art, which has its pros and cons, obviously. But it has its pros, obviously, but it also has its cons. Like there's a lot of effort, a lot of being dependent on who knows, and because of that love, like something must have happened to you, or something that you watched, or something that you heard or listened to, that made you go like, oh, I want to do that forever. Did you have that? If so, what was it?
I think.
Extremely long question.
No. I was in it. I was concentrating. There was always music in the house, and I grew up with a lot of Leonard Cohen, James Taylor, John Martin, and Talking Heads. And my dad was always played the guitar. The reason why I play guitar, but I think the moment that it happened was when I went to go and watch Alicia Keys, which is very strange because my music now is just very not in that vein. But
not related at all.
But I went to go and watch. I was 13 years old, and I went to go and watch her at Manchester Apollo. and she blew my mind. And I thought that I looked like her. I literally was like, oh my god, this could be me. And then
You're not totally dissimilar in many ways.
Oh, thank you, literally, I'm obsessed with her. But she basically, just the way she was on stage, the way she made people feel comfortable, the way everybody was entertained, the way that, I don't know, man, it was a show, but it wasn't like kind of overly, it wasn't it was like watching a modern day Aretha Franklin. And I just thought there was just an authenticity to it that I really was like, wow, okay. You know, she wasn't one of them artists that had like her tits out. She wasn't doing like dance routines. She was just sat behind the piano, just like, it was purely about what she was singing and what she was saying. And it was just, it made me realise, like, oh shit, I don't want to be a pop star. I want to be an artist, you know. I wanted it to be different. And though nothing against pop stars, but I just, you know, I just, it broadened my whole like kind of knowing of where I wanted to like go and what I wanted to push and what I wanted to be for other artists, you know, like, you know, do you understand what I'm saying? It was a really important moment, and weirdly I kind of disconnected myself from her music, just because it wasn't necessarily like, wasn't
absolutely,
what I was
that happens,
to, but and you grow out of it. But I just watched her Tiny Desk thing that she did, and I fell back in love with her. I was like, that's the girl that I know and love, and this is the girl that, she had that same thing. Her voice is just super calm and she's funny, and like I just was like, this is why I love you. Like I must admit I forgot, and I'm proud to say that she was the first person that I went to go and watch and made me want to do music, you know, because she's a world-class artist and she's also seems like such a nice person, which I think is like, I think you that, can you tell, know, really. Man. Yeah.
You know, our show, we only have on people whose work we like. So we only have on stuff on. I only have guests on whose stuff we like. So whose records or comedy or whatever that we enjoy, and there's a really high ratio of people being really nice people.
Yeah.
You know,
I think that.
Thankfully for us.
I think that whole thing as well, like. The whole element of it, of people not kind of wanting to be nice, is kind of like, I don't know, don't really get far by being a dick, do you? Like,
well, true. But you used to back then.
You can, if you want to have like a really what's the fucking word? And a business that's going to do incredibly well. And maybe that's where I'm going fucking wrong. Maybe I do need to be a bit more of a dick. But I do think that like you should treat others how you want to be treated. And
the dicks are all VPs now.
Right.
Yeah, you
the
know.
dicks are the guys that I date. Like I literally.
But you know, executive types. You know, they all go there. Like, they're doing crypto or something. I'm just joking with crypto. But, you know, but I mean investment banking.
It's so true.
Investment banking. True. Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah. Real estate. Oh, there's a lot of people doing real estate. We're just getting a lot of dislikes, but I don't give a shit. Okay. Three things that you're made of.
What do you mean?
3 things that you're made of. Anything. Very quick, very important. Forever.
Sugar, spice, and quite nice.
No. Thank you, Charles. We are done. This was fantastic. Wow. Thank you.
It was lovely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow.